What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Passion Podcast.
Yes,
My
sir.
name is Josh. I am here in Virginia Beach at the Salt Life Production Studios with my good friend Aaron Joy.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for having me, dude.
No, thanks for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be on the Passion Podcast.
Yeah,
excited to be here.
I'm
excited for the adventures you're taking, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm excited about all the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
You getting into media, you know what I'm saying? You getting in front of the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's wild, man. Dude, I've always been a builder. Like, I love building things, and construction's really a strong suit in my life. But I mean, God's really opened up like the whole media side of things for me in the last year or so, and it's like it's been really cool.
It's been fun. You're building pixels. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's
not
good.
Pallets, but pixels.
That's good, man. Yeah. So, well, just want to welcome everyone to the Passion Podcast, and just gonna sit down with my good friend Aaron, and just gonna rap a little bit about the whole vision, so everyone who's joining me on the channel and stuff can get a little insight into what we got going on here and what you can expect and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. So let's dive on into the Passion Podcast.
Let's do it,
Josh. Let's bring it back. Why is passion so important to you?
So the word passion to me has really been defined as the pursuit of purpose. And it's that driving factor. It's that inside motivating ingredient in fulfilling and walking out your purpose in life.
Yeah.
And so passion is really, I define it as the pursuit of purpose.
Okay. Pursuit of purpose. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's go through a little history lesson, because I think you're hitting on the head. Pursuit of purpose. Mm-hmm. So, what do you believe is the overall purpose of your podcast? Or before we even get to that, where did it come from? Like, why did you suddenly want to dwell into being a podcaster?
Why the Passion Podcast? Yeah.
Why the
Where
Passion
did it originate?
Yeah.
I believe it originated in God's heart.
Okay.
And it landed in mine.
Okay.
About a year ago, I was at a conference, and there was a gentleman who came and prayed over me.
Okay.
And in his prayer, he was really encouraging me and saying that God has an area of influence that's opening up for me.
Yeah.
And that's in the realm of social media and the internet and influencing and stuff. And before that, man, it really wasn't on my radar.
Okay.
Like I said, a strong suit, I just enjoy construction work.
Yeah.
And that's, I started my own little construction business and stuff. And I was in the military for 6 years. I got out. I worked at a church for 6 years doing ministry. And then after that, I started doing more full-time construction work. But that really evolved into a position with a company that I'm currently working with, doing production, audio, video, lighting, production.
Yeah.
And so like I've seen God kind of strategically moving me about into different like career paths and fields and stuff like that to really get me familiar and like just allow me to experience the things that are going to help me grow in my purpose. Yep. And so it really originated from about a year ago. There's a gentleman who had prayed over me, said that he felt like God was saying to me that he's going to give me influence and platforms and stuff like that. And I don't say that in an arrogant way, Aaron, because I haven't aspired to that.
Yeah. No, and I don't think one thing with you is I think you strive on always trying to have the right heart, right? And I think even with this podcast, I genuinely believe it is to push passion into people.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
I think from what I'm getting from you is it's not necessarily for people to see you, right? But people to see all that God is doing in your life, right?
Yeah, my goal is actually to highlight other people.
Yeah, and I think,
showcase them.
Yeah, and I think that's what's very clear about your life and what you're doing. So as you just stated that it's to highlight other people. What is the vision of the Passionate Podcast? Like, what can people expect? Where are you headed? What are you
Yeah.
going to do? You know, let's talk about it.
Well, I feel like I have a very dim glimpse into it, but
Okay.
I mean, my heart is just so wide open
Yeah.
to whatever God wants to
Yeah.
do. After that initial encounter experience, you want to call it, it kind of that like planted the seed.
Yeah.
And then actually it was a couple months later that I actually had I woke up in the middle of the night, from a dream, and I felt just I felt the presence of Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
prompting me to write down
Yeah.
the vision.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know what the vision looks like, but I just started writing stuff down, notes down in my phone.
Yeah.
And the name, the Passion Podcast, came to me.
Yeah.
And it was very intriguing. I was like, oh wow, that actually, kind of aligns with, me, my personality and stuff, because
Yeah.
I feel like I am a very
Very
deep and passionate person. I was like, cool, that'd be
Yeah.
really neat. So I sat on it for a little while. I actually shared it with my wife, shared it with some friends and my pastor and stuff, and that was the key too. I shared it with people who believed in me and people who knew and saw potential in me, because they are the ones who are fanning the flame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of I sat on it for a little while, few months, as ideas would come to me as to what it looks like, and just kind of formulating that whole thing. I would just jot down my notes and stuff, and then towards the end of last year, 22, I just really felt the just the go ahead to say, okay, 23 is going to be different.
Yeah.
23, I want you to start this.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going, what it's going to look like, but I knew that I had the go ahead, and I knew that I had the not just the permission from heaven, but I had the passion from heaven. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
and so I'm just, man, I'm running with it, dude.
It's
I started the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like, I got the Gmail account set up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
started the Instagram account and stuff. And
Yeah.
it's just, little by little, I've started with what I have, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a sweet studio like this yet.
Yes, sir.
But I started with what I got, man. It's been like 6 weeks, 7 weeks,
And so I think I want to ask you this follow-up question regarding that.
Mhm.
What is one thing? I know you were saying you don't necessarily have a vision you see for it yet. But what is one thing that you have a dream of in here that you want to see with the
I do have a vision that's formulating for this. I see a company that not only employs and empowers people, but that really changes the dynamics of influence. You know what I mean? There's our generation, the a rising generation. They look to social media for identity. Their whole world revolves around. You ask fifth graders, what do you want to be when you grow up? A lot of them are saying, I want to be a YouTube influencer. Wow, that's huge. That is huge, man. I wanted to be a firefighter. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's wild to know that type of aspiration for the generation that's following us is something like that. And I want to, not only myself, but I want to help raise up other influencers to be role models and dominate that field, man. You know what I mean? And give people hope and passion, because the days ahead are gonna be dark. But look, man, we have a hope that's inside of us. We have a message that's burning. We have passion that's been imparted to us from heaven. You have a passion for music. You have a passion for video, and I have a passion for so many things. And I want people to know that it's not just the elite who actually can walk in fulfillment of purpose in their life. But actually, I want to inspire so many people to discover the passion that lies inside of them. You know what I mean? not everyone's called to be, to have a studio and produce music and stuff. Not everyone's called to be, a college professor. Not everyone's called to, like a role in ministry. You know what I mean? But everyone is born with a purpose. And I want to help people find out what that is.
I think one of the transitioning into one of the final questions I want to ask you is when we're talking about what I see that you're doing is you're taking a leap of faith, right?
Big time.
You're taking a risk. You have a word in you, and you're taking a leap of faith, and I think that's a very courageous and very admirable of you.
Thanks, man.
And so, how to the people who feel like they have a word, the people who are listening who feel like they have a passion for something. How do you want to encourage them to take that step and be like, start, you know what I'm saying? And you, like you said, you don't fully have 100% vision, but you're like, God's wanting you to do this 2023. You're like, I'm going to do it. So how do you want to encourage people like taking that leap of faith?
By demonstrating it. And that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah. Yes,
I'm not a professional producer.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about videography.
Yeah.
I'm learning more and more about, social media algorithms. I mean, all that kind of stuff. But
that's a fun game when you get into it.
Dude, for real, right? But man, the thing is, I don't feel qualified.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But I know it's there.
Yeah.
And I want other people to see that you don't have to qualify yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to have all of the equipment. You don't have to have, all you need is passion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've started with my iPhone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have a 3-camera setup yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm starting somewhere. Just starting with what I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when, like you said, when you take that step of faith, man, I mean, God's just gonna blow from heaven and just really allow the thing that He's deposited on the inside of you to come alive.
Yeah. I think like you said, it's walking in obedience, right? If you feel like this is what God's called you to do, and just people in general, when you feel like God's called you to do something, walking in obedience and let Him supply everything else that you need.
Yeah.
And then especially when God's called you to do something, I think Pastor Stephen Furtick one time said it is, if God's calling you to do something, He'll provide the resources to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so again, Josh, I think, I think you have an amazing personality for social media.
Thank you.
I think there's gonna you have the pass from me, I'm so good. But I think this is gonna be a very helpful podcast to a lot of people to like you said, give hope. You know what I'm saying? Give hope to passions that they have right now, and maybe even passions that they let go. You know what I'm saying? Passions that they let die. And I think, like you're saying, is you want to ignite the passion in the people who are pursuing whatever it is that God's called you to do. And is there any last final things you want to say to people and, close this off with?
I would say this.
Yeah.
It might be a little cliche, but it's profound.
Yeah.
Don't despise the day of small beginnings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The oak tree began with an acorn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And God is just as excited to hand you an acorn than He is for you to take shelter underneath the oak tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the process might be bumpy, but it's all about learning.
Yeah.
And probably the biggest thing is, man, have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have
Dude,
fun.
like trying to do like my first couple of videos, in front of a camera by myself, I have so many like mistakes and bloopers and just not feeling, and I'm having fun with it. You know what I mean? And like, there really is like a joy to be had when you're walking in purpose, when you're pursuing purpose. I mean, it's just so fulfilling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I mean, my encouragement is, to everyone who does join me, by way of the podcast, by way of the YouTube channel, or whatever we may do in the future. I want everyone to know that you have been born with purpose from heaven, that you have been bought with a price that is far outweighs any value that you can put on yourself. And my aspiration, my inspiration, my motivation to all of this is for you to find out not only that you are radically loved, but you are created with a purpose. And I want to unlock people in their passions. I want people to find out and discover what they were created for, what they're passionate about, and to run with it 100%.
Sure. Is there anything else we need to say apart from that?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I could keep going on and on. I mean, you probably should cut this off here in a second.
Yes, sir.
I mean, really, like,
yeah.
When God starts something,
yeah,
it's hard to extinguish it.
Yeah.
And as a little bit of advice,
mm-hmm.
I just sat down recently with my pastor,
Yeah.
and I thanked him for his enabling efforts in
Yep.
helping me get to a place where I can start things,
Yeah.
and get things going and stuff. And his response was, "It's a joy to fan the flame that God has started."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and what someone has done for me, I want to do for other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I think that's amazing. And so, guys, I want to encourage y'all to, be active in the comments, be active in the subscribe, like, comment, share this. Most importantly, if you guys know people who are passionate, share this with them. If you know people who are in need of passion, share this with them. You know what I'm saying? Get the word out.
Drop some comments. Let me know what you're passionate about. Send questions, topics, that kind of stuff. I'd love to hear. I want to hear feedback from everyone who's engaging with this stuff. I want to know what y'all are thinking. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. No, that's it. So thank you guys. I'll let Josh, this is his podcast. I'll let him end it off. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you big time, Aaron.
Yes, sir. No
for real,
worries.
man. Thanks so much for the space and inviting me out here to,
yes, sir.
Utilize your space and let me dream.
Yeah.
Yes, to see what's possible and stuff, man. I appreciate it. So big shout out to Aaron Joy, good friend of mine, Salt Life Productions. You can find him. We'll link some of the stuff in descriptions below. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next time.